Welcome back to The Pitch, an Ashland University men's soccer coaches show. I'm Kid Krakich alongside head coach Nick Roberts. Coach, let's talk about this past week. First and foremost, your thoughts on how everything went down for the Eagles.
Yeah, it was a little bit up and down. We had a tie last week against Walsh, 3-3 tie, which was an interesting game. Both teams probably in a similar place. We were down 2-0 and got back to 2-2 and then down 3-2 and then got back to 3-3. So said at half time to the guys, this game could end up being 6-5 or something, So
yeah.
It was that type of game. And then went to Tiffin. Saturday, I thought we had a great few days of training, really prepared well. But ultimately had a red card in the first 23 minutes of the game, which I think dictated the outcome of the game. We lost 2-0 in the end. But really a great effort with 10 men. We're alive, 1-0 down until the last, 4 minutes of the game, and had a couple of chances. So I think it was the guys fought like lions out there, but it was a difficult situation to be in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we'll focus here on that first Walsh game of the week on that Thursday at home. Obviously in front of the crowd at Ferguson Field. It was a rainy night, one of those ones where the ball's skidding all over the place, but such a high-scoring affair. Did you really think that was what it was going to be like?
Not really. I thought it'd be a tight game. Walsh always tends to be a tight game. I think we had 2 1-0 games last year. They won down at their place 1-0, and then we won here last year. Pedro scored late in the game, so it's always been a bit tight. But I think both teams, were sort of languishing towards the bottom of the table. So sometimes it turns out that way. But yeah, in the end, I think it was an entertaining game for the neutral.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think when you look at a game like that, obviously, too, it gets your guys flowing in terms of finding the back of the net. That's obviously an important thing at this point in the season. And then moving on to that Tiffin game now, going down to 10 men, that's a challenge in itself. And then obviously going up against a team like Tiffin on the road, that's a challenge in itself. How do you think the guys really responded after seeing one of their men go down?
Well, it's never easy, to be in that situation, to prepare tactically to play down there. We kind of knew what we had to do. It was going to be, we wanted to keep it tight, we wanted to stay in the game, and we started the game very well. I thought it was very even. So we had a game plan, but the game plan, of course, was with 11 players.
No doubt.
We don't really prepare that much for playing with 10, but you certainly have to make adjustments when that happened. We had to, get into more of a defensive shape and sort of 2 banks of 4 and leave Woody up top on his own. And just the idea was at that point was get to halftime 0-0, stay in it, and then at halftime we got there 0-0. And then it was Hayes. I think it was 1-0. Sorry, at halftime. But the idea was stay in the game. We'll get a chance. Just you're gonna have a rough time, 11v10, but stay in it. Let's see if we can get something. And the players, like I said, they fought like lions out there. And then we had, we did have a couple of chances. Rodri had an unbelievable chance and a great save from the keeper. But in the end, we just, they scored that late goal and we were just out of gas. But it was again, most of the time this season, I've walked off the field and said to the players, look, I don't have any complaints, the commitment was there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And two, I think when you go down 11v10, obviously the difficulty there is being down a guy. But from a coaching perspective, what's actually like the most difficult thing to try to game plan for when you're down a guy?
Well, the main thing is probably your mentality. You've got to convince the players that, hey, this isn't going to be easy. You're going to be up against it, and you're going to have to put your head where it hurts. You're going to have to make the tackles. There's going to be some desperate moments out there, but get through it. Everybody stay committed, and see if you can get through it. It does happen from time to time, but it was obviously very, very difficult to play with 10 men, especially for 70 minutes, which is what it was against a team that's, I think the second in the league and pretty high in the regional rankings. Yeah. And what do you guys have this coming week? What's on the agenda here late in the season? So we're going to play Finley on Thursday, which is always a good rivalry. So looking forward to that game. It's going to be over there on the grass, and then we'll turn round and finish up the season with Cedarville, who, as you know, I think number 8 in the country, number 1 in the region.
Incredible team.
So we're looking forward to that matchup and just kind of getting 2 good games under our belt here, and our reserve team too has potentially 2 games this next 2 weeks. So anyway, games left to play. Back to training today, and away we go.
I was about to say that's a great way to finish the season too. Although some tough games down here, it'll prepare your guys for the off season and get them ready for next year, especially these youngsters. Is that kind of how you're looking at it as well?
Yeah. You've got it's an interesting year. As you know, we graduated I think 8 or 9 starters last year, so it was always going to be a little bit of a challenge. But yeah, 100%. I mean, you've got to have that analysis when you get out the end, and you have to be honest and you have to be realistic. And the first thing is, ultimately, we need to do a bit better. But also on top of that, there's a group of kids here now that we've played a lot this year, young players, that I feel very comfortable that we're going to have a really good framework here for the next 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years, depending on new NCAA legislation if that comes about. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good group, and good young players, and we've got to do a bit more work on recruiting, but I think we've got the framework for a very successful team.
Yeah, no doubt about it too. Any more home games left on the slate this year?
So just Cedarville Saturday. So just away on Thursday, and then our last home game, senior night, will be on Saturday against Cedarville.
Yeah. So what's your pitch to Eagle Nation to get them out there and supporting you guys in the final game?
Yeah. Come and see us Saturday afternoon, 3:30. I think it's a doubleheader. The girls play after us too. Senior night. We've got we're trying to reach out some local high schools, and as always, we appreciate people coming out. It's always. Win or lose, we tend to make things exciting, so I hope people enjoy watching us.
No doubt about that one, Coach. Well, I appreciate your time here today.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll step aside, join you all back next week for hopefully another episode of The Pitch right here on the Eagle Network.